You've heard the quote, Bayonetta 3 promised to be crazier, better, and tighter. But what do they really mean by this? Is it just to hype up the installment, since that's basically the only extended type of news, well, other than progressing smoothly? Or are there things that we won't even expect? Battle Royale? How are we going today, everyone? My name is Rock, and thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I feel that they did learn their lesson with Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2, or more specifically Bayonetta 2, and that is why they are taking their time with Bayonetta 3. That quote above has always stuck with me, and I believe it has something to do primarily about the fight mechanics and the overworld gameplay. The fight mechanics, in order to be crazier, better, tighter, essentially did a job of reverse corporate talk, and what I mean by that is that basically translates to the innovation of Bayonetta and hack and slash gameplay as a whole. These expectations are what make me think that Astral Chain was the trial run for bulky games. The new two-person fight mechanics and the detail-heavy overworld through each chapter really showcased what could be in Bayonetta 3, or actually Bayonetta 3 would get inspiration from. Now, do I think that Bayonetta 3 will incorporate a full overworld? Personally, I don't think so. I still predict that they will maintain their chapter-to-chapter gameplay, since that's been the antic of Bayonetta and the whole Bayonetta franchise, and Platinum Games in general. The max I believe they would go would be something similar to Nier Automata or Code Vein, but even then, having such a heavy load of rendering would bear such a burden on the Switch. This is when the conversation of the upcoming rumored Switch Pro comes in, which, if true, could be revealed in the upcoming E3 2021 online expo, in which, if you do want to join us for the Nintendo Direct live stream, you are more than welcome to hit that link above if you do want to be notified, and hit that subscribe button so that way you won't miss our watch party reaction. Even so, saying Bayonetta 3 having overworld style of Nier Automata or Code Vein wouldn't make it new or better than the preceding games, according to that quote. Maybe that quote was just marketing, who knows. If they were to do what Nier and Code Vein did, it would be better relative to the previous Bayonetta games, but we need to go beyond that. They want to make this a turning point for Platinum Games, which is why I predict they'll maintain their chapter-to-chapter gameplay. Think of Chapter 1 of Bayonetta 2, where you had the ability to roam the city far more than any other chapter. Most chapters in the Bayonetta series have incorporated what I call the straight line overworld progression. That may seem like an oxymoron, but essentially it is a straight line leading you to the next part of the story, blockaded by invisible walls and event triggers. This is what made me think Bayonetta 2 was rushed in development, which made more sense the more I started to experience the game from time and time again. Now think about that chapter, Chapter 1. Maintain the overworld size of that chapter, have more interactable triggers, potentially side quests, and times that by 15 to 25. That's what I believe Bayonetta 3 would do. They would make it crazier, innovative in a sense of way, or relative to the previous games, as well as maintain their authenticity or their branding of Bayonetta. So ultimately, if we do let them take their time, they are going to be putting much more effort into the environmental designs, as well as the character interactability with NPCs, but also not making it a purely side quest infested overworld. Remember, they did say that they're going to be improving from their mistakes from Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2, while still keeping the game as Bayonetta-esque as possible, keeping the vibe that this game is still Bayonetta. I also remembered something that will bring Bayonetta 3 a day earlier, and that is, if you are enjoying the video, please hit that like and subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you do not miss a single episode of an upcoming upload or live stream. Yeah, I know, it's weird. Okay, now about the fighting mechanics, and this is what really interests me. Please, Bayonetta, please, be lenient on the time restraints in Bayonetta 3. I don't want to have to beat every enemy in 0.3 seconds to get a bronze. I'm exaggerating, of course, but Bayonetta was meant to be a stylish action game, and that's what Bayonetta 1 really did well at. Having the ability to encourage the use of exotic techniques would also boost the clippability of Bayonetta through live streaming. Imagine pulling off a practiced, Yoshesk, creative handle, Donguri 990 tier stunt type of move out of the blue and finishing off with a pure platinum. Of course, maintain the no hit equals pure platinum feature, but the time leniency paves way for more stylish plays, which in turn help the casual to pro players enjoy the game. If you want to talk about comboing and button setup, keep that the same. The fluid hack and slash of the two games are what made Bayonetta really raw, but I would also implement the option of turning on combo teacher mode, which I'm about to tell you now. This idea came up in my head when I was so tired of doing punch kick punch all the time. Of course, if you do want the casual players to enjoy the game to the fullest, I feel having on-screen instructions on how to execute Instagram-worthy combos would give them an edge on enjoying the game. It's very important to differentiate the combo teacher mode with the Immortal Marionette. The Immortal Marionette, you button mash one button and up comes out an executed automatic combo. When I first used the Immortal Marionette, I found it quite boring. It didn't really feel like I was the one executing those combos. But executing the practice combos that I did by myself with no Immortal Marionette, oh my god. There got a touchdown. Oh my god. I really did enjoy. This wouldn't be a permanent feature as you still have the pro players, so I would make this feature turn on and offable. Another fight mechanic that goes really well with the improved Overworld feature is what Code Vein did really well with: online co-op. This is where you and another friend would progress through the same chapter together, as well as being able to pull off unison raids that is coined by Fairy Tail and used in Spellbreak. With online co-op and unison raids happening, I think this is what will make Bayonetta 3 a crazier, better, and tighter type of game for the hack and slash community. Oh, getting double fisted. Damn. One more climax. Another thing I think would be great and something to increase Bayonetta 3's replayability would be the ability to upgrade weapons from levels 1 to max. This was used in Nier Automata, which was a feature I completely enjoyed. The max levels also gave the weapons cosmetic changes in the overworld, especially Beastbane. Oh my god, that is what I would love to see in Bayonetta 3 with all the weapons, especially Shinobu. Bayonetta 2 kinda did this with the perfume add-on that gave you different attires for your default outfit. Of course, beside the cosmetic aspect, you'd also have the ability to increase the speed and power. There might even be different combos that you'd be able to pull off only with max level weapons. If they pull these variables off, unison raids, online co-op, max level weapons, they're going to make such a challenging game, and I 100% believe that they are going to need a lot of time to make it. To be honest, I wouldn't put character leveling up in Bayonetta 3 because I'd only want that for the max level weapons. Well, also because Bayonetta is always my level 100. But seriously, keeping levels out of Bayonetta would maintain the antic of this is still a skill-based game. Keep the levels to weapons to unlock different combos and finishers. I think that is much more better. I would bring back serious mode for the whole duration of certain boss fights since I felt that was something Bayonetta would have kept, and not just relegated to pressing L1 for 10 seconds of climax, even though that is a long time in our real world. Serious mode chapters really felt like you were going all out against your enemy and you didn't want to waste any hit. The vibrating and the haptic feedback really felt good and satisfying as well. But in terms of crazier, better fighter, Bayonetta 3's Umbran climax would have to be something more meaningful. In Bayonetta 2, it feels great at first, but it's quite taxing compared to the amount of progress that you made with it. Honestly, I'd make it feel like a last resort type of form. Think Dante's Devil Trigger, where his cosmetics change to suit a change in form. Holy shit. Possibly something that'd give every weapon a different look that even change your appearance or outfit. Similar to Black Clover's epic form changes during these modes, Shiraba's Umbran climax would be different to Love is Blue, or Takemikazuchi or Zucchini, who'd possibly have something along the lines of a bulkier aura or suit. Basically, I believe the Umbran climax in Bayonetta 3 should be the same as in Bayonetta 2, however the MP tax should be proportionate to the damage dealt and provide form changes that suit the weapon or the accessory that you are wearing, not just the purple aura for all weapons. Or Platinum Games, if you want to take my idea, you can use the Infernal Bonds or the True Infernal Bonds because I know Crazy Gal and I would love that so much. But in all seriousness, I'd love it to be more of a last resort type of moveset and not just a power up that you use every single time. Bayonetta 2's Umbran climax looked more and more like a rushed feature that they put in. So improving on this in Bayonetta 3 into something more epic would be one of the greatest implementations into the Bayonetta franchise. Except for maybe an Umbran Witch Battle Royale. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let me know in the comments of any fight mechanics and overworld hopes that you'd want in Bayonetta 3. I'm rockin', and happy theorizing.